welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who no longer has a refrigerator in his house. It's Chris Kelly.
Hello, everybody.
So, you don't have a refrigerator in your house anymore after watching King of the Ants.
No, well, to be fair, and now that it's winter time, I can just put my food outside.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to get rid of your refrigerator, winter is a good time.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what I do. In the summertime, I just throw the food out.
And then you go buy a new refrigerator. Very impractical, Chris Kelly.
Not very practical, but it's totally worth the money.
So I gotta say thank you very much for joining me. So I had a contest on Movies, Films, and Flicks, our Facebook page, and I said whoever gets the most right can pick a movie to be talked about on the podcast. And this guy named Dylan won, top fan. He actually has the badge for Movies, Films, and Flicks. And so he won the contest, and I was like, hey, what movie do you want? So I was thinking something like, I don't know, I'm not bagging on Dylan, but like The Witch or a mainstream film. And then he goes, you know what? I really want to hear about King of the Ants. And
all right.
I immediately went, what? I was like, well, he won, so let's do it. And I knew nothing about this movie. I looked up, I saw the poster. I had seen the poster before. I feel like most people know the poster. Go on Google, type in King of the Ants movie poster, and you will recognize it. And then I saw that Stuart Gordon directed it. And then I saw that there's like Carrie Werner was in it, Ron Livingston, Daniel Baldwin, George Wendt, Vernon Wells from Commando. So there's a decent cast. So I was like, okay, this will be an interesting experience. I've never heard of this movie. I know Stuart Gordon has crushed some good films like Re-Animator. John Levin, good at Movies, Films, and Flicks. He's written a lot about Dagon. He's written about The Pit and the Pendulum. He's actually written about
All's Fortress, Castle Freak.
Yeah, dude's made a bunch of movies, and Levin Good of Movies, Films, and Flicks, John's Horror Corners, written reviews about Stuart Gordon's films. And I called you up, and I texted you. That's a new call. I think I did call you once, and you never called me back, because people just don't do that anymore. I texted you, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm in. So that was a relief, and so we both watched this movie. I mean, it's streaming everywhere, is it not, Chris Kelly?
Yeah, it's easier to say where is this not streaming? Yeah, the only two places that I found that it's not streaming on is Netflix and Shudder.
I mean,
it's literally, you can go anywhere. It's on Amazon Prime, Fossum, FilmRise, Roku, Tubi, Pluto, Vudu, and FlixFling.
Everywhere. And so this movie, I mean, the cinematographer is Mark Alberg. He shot Re-Animator, House 2, Transfer Arena, Robot Jocks, the Bruce Willis classic Striking Distance, Michael Jackson's Black or White music video, My Boyfriend's Back, Beverly Hills Cop 3, both of the Brady Bunch movies. So this is a guy.
He also did Hell Night, Chained Heat, Trancers, Ghoulies, Re-Animator. He did Dream On. Remember the show Dream On? Yeah, Dream On. That was a great show. It was about a kid that was he's an adult, but as a kid he was like raised on television. So like throughout the whole show, he like envisions himself having conversations with people. Then it does references to old television shows or movies in his mind. It's a really funny show.
This movie comes out, right? Stuart Gordon directed it. Big name. I mean, he knows how to handle decent sized movies. He had shot big movies before. This movie comes out in 2004? Yeah, 2003, sorry. And 2003 it comes out. And I mean, it looks like it's shot on parchment paper.
That's one of the things I think is probably what most people probably notice the most about this movie when they first watch it is that it is shot very obviously micro budget. I mean, it was started in like the early 2000s whenever shooting digitally was probably just becoming a thing. So there was tons and tons and tons of movies that came out like one right after the other. And it was produced through the Asylum, which you remember the Asylum films, which were known for their, they were called mockbusters.
This is the first movie they produced.
It was one of the first ones. They started in 1997, but didn't really have too many films.
Well, yeah, they distributed, right? Oh, no, I guess they said Death Valley, The Revenge of Bloody Bill was their first in-house. But then before that, they were distributing. So then they stepped up into the game with the classic Snakes on a Train, the Da Vinci Treasure. I mean, they
Aliens
also did
versus Hunters.
Transmorphers. I had a friend who worked on that.
The Day the Earth Stopped, Mega Piranha, movies like that. That's more like what they're known for.
They hit big with Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, and we're putting big in quotation marks.
Yeah, well, all their movies are made for less than $1 million. They actually, the guy who created, one of the creators of The Asylum, which was one of the many producers on this movie, David Michael Latt, David Rimwani, and Sherry Strain, who are all founding members of The Asylum. David was quoted as saying that the production cost of all of their movies are, quote, well under $1 million. So, I would say, like, with King of the Ants, the money is mainly directed towards the special effects, which is in a movie like this where you would want to direct it. And I don't know about you, but whenever you see George Wendt dead, it looks like George Wendt.
Yeah, he's frozen.
It literally looked like, I mean, that guy literally got hit by a van.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that later on, but these movies are made extremely cheaply. I mean, you can tell that a lot of this is very guerrilla style, shoulder rig. A lot of the costumes are all owned by the people who are the actors.
You'll never see a single shot. Basically, if there's two people in a scene, it's a two shot.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no over the shoulder.
The color correctness, and I'd say probably a Steadicam would have saved this movie. But not to drone too much on that. But it's an interesting story if you think I'm like reading about it. It's about a guy who's, he just does whatever he can to make money. I think he's supposed to be in his mid-20s. He then meets a guy played by George Wendt, who goes by his last name's Duke. He says that, give me your number and I'll call you if I have another job that ever pops up. Sort of like how we do in film is like, oh, well, a buddy of mine's moving or a buddy of mine needs help cleaning out a house. Like, would you mind? I'll give you a couple $100, stuff like that. So he does like, sure, as a side gig. So he calls him and puts him in touch with his boss, played by one of the Baldwin brothers.
Daniel Baldwin, Ray Matthews.
His character is Ray, yeah. And he wants him to follow Ron Livingston.
That's the weirdest cameo too, right?
Strangest cameo, because he wasn't like an unknown at the time. He was known for Office Space.
Yeah, he had done Swingers. Like, he had been in movies.
He was a known name.
Yeah.
So he the knockoff Chris Pine. What's his name?
Sean Crowley.
Sean Crowley is hired to follow him around, follow Ron Livingston around because he's sort of like a whistleblower. And then he gets some type of dirt on him and gives it to Daniel Baldwin. Daniel Baldwin then shows up to his house drunkenly, which I don't know about you, but it seemed like he was legitimately drunk.
Oh, yeah. And so when he said, how long have you been waiting here? And he shows the Jack Daniels bottle that's 20%, 80% empty.
Yeah.
I'm like, he consumed not 80% of it, but he drank a third of that. You know what I mean?
You could tell. I was like, no, I don't think he's acting. I think they kind of fed him the lines.
There's some sweat in this film, and I like how it's grimy, right? I like how it's...
Yeah, I like the grit.
You see the sweat in the armpits. You see the booze draining from everyone's foreheads. When they're complaining about not having beer, I'm pretty sure they drank it all. But it does. So, Chris, you watched this before I did, and so the movie gets real nasty, and we'll get into that, right? So he goes meets Daniel Baldwin, then he kills a guy, he gets double-crossed, then he gets tortured to lose his brain, so he can't think anymore, so he won't remember anything, so he's just in a vegetative state. But it all goes wrong, and there's a lot of death. You sent me a text saying this is a mean movie, and you liked that, correct?
Yeah, I think that the ending of probably the last third of the film is very enjoyable because Sean Crowley just kind of goes ape shit.
Yeah.
But rightfully so. He was beaten and tortured by these guys for a while. We don't really have an exact figure, but I would say probably about a week. And he just exacts his revenge on them. And it's very brutal, the ending. He bites George Wendt's jugular, rips it open so he dies, and then is saved by his friend. And as his friend comes to save him in his van, hits the guy Bennett hits Bennett.
Well, actually his name's Beckett in this movie, but he's Bennett in Commando, so I'm just going to call him.
You think that's a little cheeky, like winking the gun towards the crowd?
Oh, it has to be. I mean, once you find out his name's Beckett, you're like, oh.
Yeah, when I looked him up, because when I was watching the movie, I was like, damn, does that guy ever look familiar? And then I looked him up and I was like, ah!
Bennett.
Nice.
The classic, you know what they called him on Commando? So he showed up without working out and never did a date. Like, he just drank a lot. And the stunt coordinator on Commando said that he was a sock stuffed with marshmallows. I liked him in this, though. His character was the most redeeming of the lot.
He was the nicest one. He even has that line at the end of the movie. He's like, "Why are you doing this to me? I was the one who was saving you. I was being nice." And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you should have stopped them, but you didn't. But yeah, although you did give me water and whatnot, and you were the one who's didn't give him water, gave him booze. He was the nicest one to him, but it's kind of like saying, you're out of all the people who shot me, you only shot me in the foot.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
You hit me with a tennis racket, not a bat.
Yeah. Everyone shot me in the chest. You just hit me with a tennis racket. And it's like, well, but that guy literally got hit by a vehicle.
Yeah, he did.
That's not faking. Whenever Sean gets saved, and then he gets kicked out of the van by his buddy, and then he goes to the homeless shelter that
his buddy. How much of a jerk? So his buddy saved him, and then his buddy. He's been tortured for a week. He's dehydrated. He's concussed. He has been whacked and thwacked and beat up, and then his buddy just is like, "You're acting weird. Get out of the truck." So
he kicks him out because he's laughing about the fact that he murdered 2 people. He's like, his buddy's like, "You killed a guy, remember?" And he goes,
"Yeah,
no, I killed 2." And he's like, "Who's the other guy?" He's like, "I ripped his neck open." And then he's like, "Get out of my car." And it's like, but then they seem to be near-ish the homeless shelter that Ron Livingston's wife works at.
Carrie Wurr.
And that is quite an interesting storyline. I like that. It's very film noir. Like the film, like I've said this to a few people about this movie because everybody I speak to, no one ever heard of this film. I said it's very noir. Like there's a lot of dark characters. The only thing you're missing is the femme fatale, but everything about this movie screams like 1940s dark cinema, in my opinion. Mobsters, you have, the killings, you have the revenge storyline at the end. And I think that, in my opinion, if this movie was remade, I think it would be, and I don't know if the name King of the Ants would still be good, but if you called it something else, maybe, King of the Ants, why not? It would do very well, I think, at least with audiences nowadays. But I think the main thing that's throwing everybody off is what we said, the look of it.
They wanted this movie to get made for years. So George Wendt gave this script to Stuart Gordon because they worked together in Chicago. Stuart Gordon's a Chicago boy, and no one would do it. So when Asylum said, "Hey, we'll give you $12," they're like, "Sold."
We got 2 Lincolns and a Washington with your name on it. There we go.
And I will say, though, this movie, I made the joke about the parchment paper, and maybe that's too easy. I do think they were rushed with a lot of the production. And I also like the daytime aspect of it. I like that, you think about the traditional noir. I mean, they were filmed in black and white, but a lot of it's at night. A lot of it's in creaky corridors and in offices that are dark, in the kind of corners and the shadows a lot. Just the way I think about early noir, Dashiell Hammett type stuff.
And there's a lot of hard shadows. Like you'll see like someone turning to the side and you'll see that one side of their face is completely in shadow. Yeah.
See, what that means is that they're half good and half bad. Like there's none of that in this movie. This is drenched in sunlight. This is they
probably just couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Night shoots, night shoots are a pain in the butt. You have to get lights. Or you have to find practical lights somewhere.
I've explained that to people. It's like, well, you need to have a nice big balloon overhead, and you got to have other. You basically have to make it look like it's shot during the day, almost. I mean, it's a lot of lights, a lot of money.
Even with excellent cinematographers like Roger Deakins, who at night they just shoot with practical, but you replace all the lights in those practical things, and you frame and you. So even though where the lights are coming from are practical. When I mean practical, I'm not saying they set up a giant 10K and just bomb the light through the woods. And you're like, where's that light? That light's coming parallel to the ground. I don't understand this. So he's Roger Deakins' movie. It's lit by street lights. It's lit by car headlights. It's lit by neon signs, that kind of thing. But this movie, there's really no nighttime. And even the nighttime shots feel like they were filmed during the day, then edited towards night. I mean, this is just the easy movie, but it's still, and I think this is credit to Stuart Gordon because it still captures a very draining, gross, unclean, kind of dirty noir vibe. I mean, this movie, it's successful in its mission, would you say?
Yes, I would. I think it's a very, it's a very gritty and raw film from watching it. Yeah.
there's just some of the scenes. This guy's been tortured for a week, and he's left down to just be in his dirty.
He's literally in his soiled underwear and vomit. That's all that he has.
And I have another question. They didn't want to show damage on his face, but at the end, he looks like
he got the shit kicked out of him.
The Elephant Man. You know?
He has like the Elephant Man.
Right? Like the massive lump. And it's kind of funny. There's a scene where he's walking through Los Angeles with a blanket over him, and you could tell it's guerrilla style because all the people walking by are just staring at him.
They're staring at him. They're staring at the camera. You can tell that maybe I would say that they hired 2 extras to play homeless people, and then that's the 2 people that he sits beside.
And those are the 2 people that actually feel like extras. All the other people feel natural.
I watched this movie again this morning, and I saw the street sweeper that's coming down the road when Sean sits down, and I was like, wow, that guy is definitely not an extra. That is a real street sweeper. You can tell. But, it's all part of the fun of making the movie.
So right now there's 9 reviews for it. It's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's liked on Googles. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. I think this could be an interesting exploration into low-budget filmmaking. Would you say? I mean, there's some weird visions in here that I feel I didn't like the visions of Carrie Warrer where she eats poop.
Yeah, no.
That had no point in the movie. Yeah. And there's some very weird moments in this film.
I think they probably put that scene in there because they wanted to establish moment that this is supposed to be like a horror film, but it's not. I think they wanted to sell it as a horror film because all the promotional pictures that you see of this film are of the woman as an ant.
Oh yeah. And
so I think they wanted to sell that image, and it's like, well, they could have just they should have just sold it as a crime drama or a crime thriller, I guess.
This could have been maybe like a Blue Ruin, right? Or or the Linda Fiorentino movies where the dudes always end up in a ton of trouble. Was it The Last Seduction, where she's Jade. The femme fatale Jade? Yeah, when you have these soaked kind of like very noir-esque films. Yeah, I didn't understand the poop eating.
No, I didn't think it was necessary. But then we find out that, I guess, kind of later that Crowley says that about his whole speech about ants. He's like, they're eating, shitting, and having sex with each other just like they've always done. And it's like, maybe they put that in there for that reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure that Stuart Gordon just wanted to put that in there because he wanted to gross people out, but I just don't think it was necessary.
It's an interesting parallel, though. I mean, ants. You see an anthill, they're just going about their business, and that guy's just saying they're inconsequential. But then if you look at humans in the larger scale of things, we're the same as ants.
Yeah, we really are. Doing the same exact things that we've done for millions of years, not much progression. It's just kind of the same thing over and over again. We're just building, going about our lives. And that's kind of what he was getting at with his little speech. And then I love that when he says, he's like, come on, but you can save me. Probably says, or Bennett Beckett says that. He's like, you could save me. He's like, I don't know why you're talking. You're already dead.
Yeah.
Just walks away. That is a mean ending.
And then he gets an explosion behind him, which that felt a little out of place. Like he's going to become a new murderer, I guess. But you know what I liked about early Sean Crowley, played by Chris McKenna, is he's just this happy-go-lucky kind of fella.
Yeah, he's very much like a realistic early to mid-20s man. He just kind of like the world is his oyster. He's just kind of going about his life. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad. He's just kind of there. Yeah, I think he's very content with where he is in his life. He's painting a house. He clearly doesn't really know how to paint a house, but he's doing it anyways. But, then why not? Like, take on another job? Sure. You want me to just follow somebody around? Why not?
Yeah, I like how he's sort of morally flexible, too. So one night, so he's been following around Livingston around because this guy might be a whistleblower, which will hurt this contractor who has a big contracting business, Daniel Baldwin. And I like how there's a really weird speech, though, that Daniel Baldwin gives about him being a married man who wants to have sex with an 18-year-old, so he kills a dog.
Yeah. And he says that he kills the dog so that it'll shut up. And you're like, okay. Like, I like how Crowley's face is just kind of like, oh, all right. Like, what are we getting at?
You didn't need this speech, man. Like, what?
Yeah, you didn't need to tell me this.
Some of the words, though, that are said during that made me feel so dirty coming out of Baldwin's mouth. I don't want to say them on this pod, but a couple of them I'm like, oh, brother, why am I watching this? You know, I always like having Baldwin's on screen, but I do like when he gets an offer to kill Ron Livingston. And he initially says 15,000, Baldwin says 5, they get to 13. But I kind of liked, I mean, it's very written. I know every line of dialogue's written, and the scene just feels very novelly, and it was based on a book. But I kind of liked his rules, right? He's like, I just can't get caught is number 1. I like that. I mean, that's a good rule. I can't get caught.
Yeah, if you're committing a crime, I think that'd probably be number 1 rule.
Yeah, I want to get caught. You know, that's just my number. Oh, yeah, cool. My number 2 is be stronger. So he basically in the car breaks down these numbers, but then everyone gets confused about how many numbers he's saying, which is kind of fun.
He's also drunk.
Oh yeah, Baldwin.
So it's just kind of like, all right, and then number 6 is get out of my car. You know?
You could tell a lot of that was improv because I don't know if you've heard about this before, and we were talking about this on this movie Bliss that I think is going to be on Shudder or Amazon Prime soon. I think you'll like it, Chris Kelly. The only problem is with it is the actors are really allowed to improvise. So in King of the Ants, when you can tell there's a lot of improving because they're just throwing the F-bomb out everywhere.
Yeah.
And listen, in Tarantino, I feel like each F-bomb is written, right? And so I'm totally like Wolf of Wall Street. Those F-bombs are written. Uncut Gems. You feel like those lines are written, and those have some of the most F-bombs in the history of cinema. So I'm not.
Yeah, that's like number 4, I think.
I'm not a prude. I'm not against F-bombs, but when they're used in improv, I'm gonna go down to the taco shack and eat some tacos, and then I'm gonna drink some effing soda, and then I'm gonna walk effing home. It's like like that's a very so a lot of people say when they audition for roles, people that do the casting, they say the number one thing people do when they improv is they just drop the F-bomb. And you could tell there was a lot of that in here. And it's I don't know why it's been great on me lately, but that was the one part I didn't like about some of the improv in this movie.
No, I've noticed that too. To me, whenever a lot of F words are being thrown around, it makes the person sound not as smart.
Yeah.
So when you hear someone constantly cursing, it's like, I get it, you're angry, or I get it, you're struggling for a word to come up with. But instead of cursing, why don't you just kind of pause? You know, and I think that maybe people are just afraid to pause because they think that someone else is going to jump in. And it's like, well, maybe you just didn't have anything worth saying.
Yeah.
It could be it. And it's like, there's that.
And filler words, you know, people, it's a filler word as well. So you're thinking off the top of your head, you don't want to drop likes, yeah. So you're just like, I'm just going to say, you know, I'm just going to drop F-bombs to take place.
It's just as good.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's super.
They did that on Bad Boys. I don't know if you knew that.
They did what?
There was a lot of improv on Bad Boys.
Oh, really?
That might explain a lot of the F words. Like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were both given free range to change the dialogue as they wanted.
Yeah.
On the spot.
I mean, I would guarantee it. You're just, and I'm not saying like, listen, if I'm an actor, you and I are actors, Chris. We get cast in an action film called Ice Cream Nuclear Truck 2. Where it's an asylum film where you and I, it's a ripoff of Chill Factor where you and I have to deliver a nuclear bomb that has to be kept cold in an ice cream truck to the CDC in Atlanta. And so if you and I were asked to improv, I bet you and I would just be saying like, you know, F-bomb, 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 F-bomb. Right? Improv.
I could go for it.
If this
do you like a chocolate ice cream?
If this nuclear mother effing nuclear bomb mother effing gets below mother effing degrees. Like, and I'll be like, I did a great job improv in there. I did great. So obviously I'm making fun of people when I would fall to, you know, I would melt like one of those ice cream cones.
Tell me something I don't know, Hoffmeyer.
Yeah. Mother effer. Wait, what?
Do you remember those ice creams called the Phantom? They were blue chocolate on the outside, and then they were strawberry on the middle. Chris, what are you talking about, man? We got a nuclear effing bomb in our effing truck.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Put down that milkshake and get in the truck.
Go faster, Mark, faster. I can't. Go. Wait, where? I'm surrounded on all sides in traffic in Atlanta.
It's like I'm getting hit by all sides, man.
People trying to buy ice cream? Why'd you turn the music on, Chris Kelly? I'm trying to get away from people, not draw attention.
I feel like I'm trying to go from Decatur to East Atlanta at 5 p.m.
Whoa, there should be a scene where we need fuel money, so we just turn on the sound and start selling ice cream. We gotta pay for gas! Sell some ice cream!
Don't you know it's cheaper to go to Chambly?
We just charge $1 for, we just gotta get rid of 2 for 1, 2 for 1.
Choco tacos go up by $2 just to try to go to QT.
On the menu, it says it's a $2 Choco Taco. You're charging $5. Yeah. Mother effer, get over it.
Do you want this Choco Taco or do you want to go to hell?
It's 98 degrees. Your choice. Walk away hot or walk away cold. Pay me some money so I can get out of here.
That'd be the best tagline ever. Walk away hot or walk away cold.
All right, back to the movie. So,
back to the movie. Speaking of the tagline, they wanted a fall guy. They created a monster.
Did he become a monster?
He did. He killed everybody. Yeah. I'd say at first that he was very much a nice guy, very well to do, and then slowly and steadily became a monster. He came back and killed everybody. I mean, I guess you think about, was he always a monster or was he created by one? Did he do it just for the money? Because Sean seems to be a nice guy and he kind of takes this on as just a job. He doesn't really think about the consequences, such as by killing Livingston what would it have done? You know what I mean? He just kind of takes it on as like, oh, well, I need you to wash my car. Okay, no problem. And then he realizes the repercussions of all that and everybody that is affected by the death, causing him to go insane.
I mean, okay, so he's in the car with Daniel Baldwin. They're both sweaty. They're sitting in the car. And when one of his rules, his final rule is, I need a reason. So I was expecting Daniel Baldwin to say that Ron Livingston is a horrible human being who beats people and is planning to murder a bunch of kittens. Instead, he's like, I need a reason. I need money. So he knows he's going to kill a guy and he wants money for it. I like the way he plays the character as a very happy-go-lucky chap, but he accepts $15,000 to murder somebody. So I would say he's not, I mean, what would he do for $6,000? Like, what would he do for $50,000? Like, he's not.
Well, that's kind of the reason why they picked him, because they knew that he would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew that he would take on the money. He wouldn't think anything about it, and he wouldn't think of the consequences until afterwards. And that's kind of what happens. Exactly.
And he has a brutal death of Ron Livingston. Goes into his house, hits him with So, all right. So he doesn't want to get caught. His rules are he wants to be physically stronger, have better weapons. He doesn't want a gun that can be traced back to him. So he walks to Ron Livingston's house with black gloves, black pants, all black outfit, and a helmet. Goes into his house, whacks him with Ron Livingston's statue, whacks him with a flower pot, and then drops a refrigerator on his head.
The hell of a way to go out. And Ron Livingston's not dead yet.
How about his hat?
And then that's what he says to his friend. He's like, you told me you didn't even like his hat. He's like, you killed the guy for a hat?
He had a silly guardian hat. I feel bad.
On the news, they're talking about Ron Livingston whenever he died, and they hit the picture that they use of him as him in the hat. He's like, what the? So, but I mean, he's still not dead. So Crowley leaves Livingston on the ground, like kind of supports his head, and I guess the air in his head eventually escapes or something, and that's what causes him to die, which is a terrible way to think to die. It's like, ugh.
It's darkly funny, would you say, Kelly? Just the way that the escalating death?
Yeah, it is kind of I'm a little bit, it's funny, but it's also, like we said, it's very gritty. So it's like it almost looks like he really did kill him. If you didn't know any better, you would think like, my God, this man, I just watched a murder happen.
I saw him die in 2003. Why is he still acting?
Why is he in The Conjuring? He looks good. Must be drinking a lot of water.
I do have to say, I hate silly hats in movies. Julianne Moore, they put a bad hat on her in Next. There's been Kevin Bacon puts a bad hat on in Hollow Man. I'm
not a big fan on hats in general in movies. They're very distracting.
And cowboy hats work. I think cowboy hats are okay. I mean, fedoras, I'll give a pass to, depending on the person. But sometimes there's very ill-fitting ball caps that they just put on people's heads. And I don't like it. Like, why would you... Like, would you want to wear so you're Chris Kelly. You're a spy. Not a spy. You're a painter who gets paid to follow a guy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, well, I don't want him to notice me. So you put on a very ill-fitting hat.
I think that would notice me more.
Yeah. Wouldn't you want to put on a hat that you already own or just go buy a hat that fits you well and not a very ill-fitting cap?
I find unless a hat is necessary, like if you're wearing a hat to keep the sun out of your eyes, I find that most people who are wearing hats, it's very distracting. It's like when you go inside of it, if you go indoors, you see people wearing hats, and you're like, why are you wearing a hat? Or if you go to someone's house and they're wearing a hat, and you're like, this is your hat. This is your house. What are you wearing a hat for? So I think like, for instance, Sean Crowley, when we first see him, whenever he's like staked outside Livingston's house, he's wearing a hat to keep the sun out of his eyes. Legit. Then when we see him at the zoo, he's not wearing a hat. Makes more sense. It's almost like, but it's the same sun. It's still sunny. Why is he wearing his hat? It's like he's trying not to be noticed by looking more noticeable.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't make any sense, but oh well. I think if I was trying to look incognito, I probably would just not style my hair. So
I remember you tried that once, Chris Kelly, and for some reason you had a fake mustache. And you dressed up like Zardoz for some reason. Everyone like, I'm not Chris Kelly. And everyone's like, well, yeah, you are. Like,
hey, I'm not. I'm Zardoz.
If you just, if you'd have been just standing there, I would have walked right past you.
Like Chris Kelly, I think you're about to get sued for sexual harassment. Put on some pants.
That's the weirdest outfit ever in film. So
wasn't very practical either, especially during those night shoots in the winter. In winter.
Oh brother, Chris
Don't
Kelly,
know why.
You were like those iguanas in Florida recently, just falling out of trees, frozen. So, all right, so he goes through with it. He kills Ron Livingston, and then he wants his money. But they're really mean to him. I gotta tell you, when he tries to get his money from George Wendt, and George Wendt headlocks him, that looks very uncomfortable, Chris.
It looks like he really does choke him out.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine? Because I mean, in the logistics of making this movie, obviously we know that it's shot very guerrilla style, and there are no extras. Can you? I mean, well, there are few extras, but a lot of like the zoo scene. Those are all real people at the zoo. Can you imagine them shooting this movie and then they have to do the chokeout scene, which is whenever he shows them about the ants, and making sure that there aren't people coming into the zoo, that little spot, because he takes them to the reptile area.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that the cutaway shots of the ants is probably taken at someone's house. Or
You're
whatever.
a lizard.
And he's like, can you imagine they're shooting this scene and, people are going like, maybe like a babysitter brings the kids along or a mom and her kids and a dad. And they're like, hey, let's go check out the lizards. Oh my God, it's George Wendt choking out this guy. Quick, help him. Like, what's going on, buddy? Like, you don't have to kill this guy. Whatever it is, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I would hate to be put in that headlock. And then he sits on him later, George Wendt.
Yeah. Can you imagine being sit on by George Wendt? He is not a light fella.
No, that'd be bad. Now, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, Chris Kelly.
Literal elephant.
George Wendt, circular glass.
Yeah. Do you think those are his? Like he had those probably left over from the 70s or 60s, you think?
I remember the 90s, circular glasses were a thing. The Professional, remember
yeah.
94?
They were really popular in the 60s. I remember this because as a kid, we used to go to...
Back to the 1960s?
Yeah, we used to go back in time all the time. It was awesome. I really enjoyed the 1970s. We would go to an auction house frequently, and someone was selling a bunch of old stuff from the 60s. And they had circular sunglasses, and I had a pair of red circular sunglasses.
Chris Kelly.
Yeah, it's a true story. And then they became popular again with Dracula.
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
They became popular again. But then it's like I think George Wendt. Do you think George Wendt had that left over from Dracula, or because he was around in the 60s that he probably had a pair in the 60s?
I don't think any thought was put into this. So I think George Wendt saw those somewhere and those will work. I don't think George Wendt in his head. I mean, who knows? You could be right, Chris Kelly. He could be a huge flower child, or he loves Bram Stoker's Dracula, and he wanted to recreate this. But I saw those circular sunglasses, and I went, George Wendt.
Man, your head is way too big for those small ass glasses, bro.
I did not understand that moment, and this is a moment filled with poop eating, and I was more disturbed by the circular sunglasses.
This movie is filled with a lot of sweaty T-shirts, and I was disturbed by the sunglasses.
Yeah, but see, I love the sweaty T-shirts. And the house that they're in partying in, it's all gross. A lot of the production design does look real. It does look, I would say, yeah, it's good. It's good production design in that it's cheap. There's not much money to spend. But And sometimes when I watch super indies, the production design hurts my soul, but here it felt inoffensive. I never thought about it as a distraction. I don't know if you felt that way.
No, I at first I did, but then now, I mean, I've seen it, now that I've seen it a few times, I'm like, it doesn't really bother me that much. And I really do get wrapped up in the character of Sean, so.
Oh, nice. Hey, so how about this? Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more King of the Ants. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And Chris Kelly, you have two options. We're going to do a draft. You can either pick, or we can either draft movies released from Asylum, so Mega Piranha, Sharknado, stupid stuff like that, or you and I can each draft 5 revenge movies.
Ooh.
It's up to you, Chris
Yeah,
Kelly.
I kind of want to do a little bit of both.
Oh, so that's interesting. We'll just do...
Yeah.
All right, how about this? Let's just do... Okay,
How about we do both?
All right, yeah, all right. So let's do the revenge movies. We'll do a quick draft. And so if you go on Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook, you can vote for either this one will be up by the time you check it out. It's released, but go to Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook. I run a ton of weird polls from the podcast, and I also have people who follow Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook to turn in teams that we vote on. So it's a lot of fun. So head over there, check it out, and vote. You'll love it. So Chris, I have a number between 1 and 2 up. What number is it?
2.
All right, you got it.
Damn.
Yeah, you are.
Right,
Chris Kelly.
Son of a bitch.
Reading my mind. How's he know?
When we're talking about revenge movies, are we talking about movies with the theme of revenge, or are we going to go with mean movies?
No, so revenge. Just revenge.
Okay, so we're just revenge. All right, so I didn't prep for this. I just did a quick Google search. Just going to put that out there.
Pushing Chris
I'm
Kelly
going
to
to
the
pick
limit.
for my number 1. Chris Kelly coming through again.
Google
I'm going to
user.
pick no Bing in this house. Revenge movies. My number 1 pick is going to be The Crow.
Oh, goodness. Old boy.
Yeah. This is just based on a quick Google search. I was like, The Crow pops up for revenge movies, and I was like, that is a revenge movie.
It's a great pick.
Because he's that's going to be my number 1 pick.
All right. I'm going to do Old Boy.
Ooh, good choice. The new one, or I mean, well,
no, not the remake.
Hey, I don't know. Yeah, that's a great movie, isn't it?
Oh, so
Man,
good.
that ending is like,
It's a punch.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film.
It's a slug to the...
I'm going to say my next revenge movie is going to be Cape Fear. Robert De Niro. Although I do like the Robert Mitchum one, I will say Cape Fear, the Robert De Niro one.
Sounds good.
That's a fantastic film.
I will pick Kill Bill.
Ooh, good choice. My next movie about revenge will be Mandy.
Oh, since you went out on a ledge and picked Mandy, which is insane, I was gonna make a stock pick, but instead I'm gonna make a Chris pick and pick I Saw the Devil.
Oh,
that's a good one.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna say I Spit on Your Grave, and I was gonna be like, son of a bitch.
Chris Kelly. I love I Saw the Devil. That's a good one.
All right, my next movie about revenge will be Unforgiven.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're cheating.
I am, but that's because I wasn't prepping for this.
I'll do John Wick then. I can't combat Unforgiven.
Man, fantastic movie. Have you seen Part 3?
Oh, I love them all. And Unforgiven, that's my favorite Western, I would say.
I haven't seen Part 3, but I worked with a guy the other day that worked on John Wick 2.
Ooh.
And he told me about how insane it was to work. He's like, well, you have to understand that the whole movie is, made by stunt guys. So an entire stunt team making a movie, which is heavily stunts. And he's like, you can just imagine it. And I was like, wow, that sounds like that was nuts. And he's
People
like,
flipping everywhere.
He said it was crazy. And I was like, well, you got a great jacket out of it.
I'd want to be working the cardboard box crew, setting up cardboard boxes for people to fall on.
Oh yeah, remember we did that for that one movie, and it was just boxes on boxes. Like, man, are we making a clubhouse? What's going on here?
I love that $200 million movies still use cardboard boxes, Chris Kelly.
Yeah, it's $500 million films, and you're just like, oh, what's up with those cardboard boxes? Well, we're gonna jump off a building and land on it.
Jeez. Oh. We got quick at them too. We were like those people who do pizza boxes. All right, like in Parasite. All right, what's your last one? Okay, my last one. I'm going to go with Death Wish. Ooh, Death Wish. I like it. The original, correct?
Yes, of course.
Not that. You know what? I'm gonna pick Revenge. I love that movie.
I don't think I've ever actually seen that.
It's on Shudder. It's another daytime revenge, gory blood.
Oh,
It's on Shudder. It's a wonderful French film. Yeah.
I did see this not that long ago. No, I did see this. This is like she's in the desert, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, not that long ago.
All right, let's do the Asylum picks right now, Chris. You got to watch Revenge, though. It's on Shudder. It's worth a watch.
It's been I think I do want to say that I saw that because I remember she wakes up in a desert and she's being chased by like a guy in a mask, right?
No, she's basically the mistress of this really rich guy, and she goes on this hunt. She's supposed to go to this his place with him alone, but his two friends get in early, and they're going to go on a big hunt. And that night, some really horrible things happen, and then it's her getting revenge on the three men.
Oh, okay.
But it's good. It is good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
All right, so I get first pick on this one, Chris Kelly.
Okay, if I have a number in my hand.
All
it's
right.
1 or 2.
2.
Ah.
Oh, dang it, Kelly. All right.
No, I'm kidding. You go ahead and go.
I'm doing Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus.
Yeah, I knew you would, you asshole.
What? What? And this is where their friendship fell apart. Chris Kelly and Mark Hoffmeyer. Game over.
Mega Shark versus Mega Piranha did it for Kelly. I tell you that. It wasn't the freezing cold of a nuclear bomb.
Man, that guy loves that movie.
I'm going to go with one of my personal favorite film franchises, Sharknado.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I love those movies without a doubt.
I'm going to do Snakes on a Train.
No, that's a good one. That's with Antonio Sabato Jr., isn't it?
I don't remember.
You want to hear something funny about that guy? All right, so anyways, I used to be a journalist back in the day, and I did a story about what women find attractive in a man. And I've interviewed one woman, and she blurted out without even thinking, Antonio Sabato Jr. I just thought that was so funny. It was just like, I've never heard anybody talk so much about Antonio Sabato Jr. It was the funniest thing. Of course, this was like college, so you're talking about 2004, 2005. I'm going to go with Mega Piranha.
Oh, that's the one where the guy bicycle kicks the piranhas that are flying at him. Have you seen that clip?
Is it that one? Which is the one that has Tiffany in it? No, that was Mega Piranha.
Oh, I got that. The one with Tiffany's the one I picked.
Oh, I thought. No,
wait, that's the other 80s singer. There's 2 80s singers that are in these movies.
No, I can't remember which one it was.
All right, so I got to go through here. I'm flipping through here. Geo Disaster. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, come on.
I'm not picking that.
Too easy.
There's got to be some here that I know. Nazi Overlord. Oh gosh, they stick so close to these. I'm gonna pick Ice Sharks.
Ice Sharks. That's a good one.
I've
seen that one. No, Mega Piranha is the one with Tiffany in it. And Barry Williams from the...
Oh, Barry Williams. I thought that Barry Bostwick.
Barry Bostwick's in it too?
I don't know.
My God, everybody's in this movie. Okay, I'm going to go with this movie because I remember seeing this in college, Halloween Night. And it came out shortly before Rob Zombie's Halloween remake did. And it was, I guess, much like all their other movies to try to cash in on that moderate success.
I'm going Transmorphers.
Oh, classic movie, too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'm happy with Transmorphers. Who you got?
Dang it. I'm going to just give me King of the World. For some reason, Shutter Island is on here, but I don't think that was one of their movies. You know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with King of the Lost World, which was the King Kong knockoff.
Oh, brother.
It was either that or Titanic 2, if you remember that one.
I'm doing Titanic 2 because I've actually watched that.
Did you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen Titanic too.
That movie's fantastic. They're like, we built it exactly like the original Titanic. Nothing could possibly go wrong. It's like...
You get the last one here. What do you got, Chris Kelly? Better end strong.
All right. No, I had it. I had it. Hold on a second. It's like The Haunting on Worcester House or something. Oh, no. Here, found it. Okay.
Wait, The Haunting on Worcester Street?
The Haunting of Steak Sauce. What the hell? The Haunting of the Winchester House.
Oh, brother.
In 3D.
Oh, I love it. So you have Sharknado, Mega Piranha, Halloween Night, King of the Lost World, The Haunting of the Winchester House in 3D. I have Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, Snakes on a Train, Ice Sharks, Transmorphers, and Titanic 2.
Yes.
I think we're good here. That was fun.
Game on, Hoffmeyer. Game on.
Now, I have a question. You said that you really connected with the character of of Sean Crawley. Why was that so?
I felt more sympathy towards him because I felt like he was just kind of a guy in his mid-20s that he didn't really have an education, I guess you would say. I guess I can't say that for fact because they never say that, but it didn't seem like he had much of an education. He was just kind of doing odd jobs to get by, and he gets sucked up in this world, and he's just kind of doing what he thinks is right. Although he should know that you shouldn't kill someone, he just does it because he takes it on as another job. He doesn't realize it, that it would cause him long-term effects. You feel sympathetic towards him because you feel like he's just a guy that's trying to get by, and then he doesn't realize the effects of what he did would do to him or other people.
This movie, and you really loved how bleak the ending was, and did you put together some recommendations of mean movies, or did you just want to discuss mean movies to coincide with this?
I think that there are several films that the King of the Ants really does borrow from, and they have to do with movies that they just kind of go along. They're really good films, and then they just have really mean and brutal endings. Like, I think that was the first thing I texted you when I was done watching this. Like, this is a mean effing movie.
The first thing you texted me was how much you loved. What movie did you yell at me for taking? The Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus. You said you love that movie.
It was a good one.
And you said if I ever draft it before you, you're going to scream at me and quit.
How dare you say Dino Croc around me?
No, it is. And I think I got more excited for the film knowing about the mean ending because not many movies go there. And I kind of appreciate when movies do. Did you ever watch 47 Meters Down?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Remember, I think that was one of the first things we talked about, that whenever that scene where the cage actually goes all the way down to the bottom, it was almost like it felt suffocating.
The ending where she's basically gone crazy because of the lack of oxygen or whatever she's breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, her friend is dead and she's just lost her mind. Sorry, spoilers. But I love how mean that is. That's a mean ending.
Because usually we have endings that everything goes good and everyone's always like, oh, okay, no worries, it's all good. And it's like, well, that's not very realistic as to what would happen. And I think that with 47 Meters Down, yeah, you would definitely have gone insane, and someone would, if not both, would have died. And that's what makes it so much better.
I love that.
Yeah, I like 47 Meters Down. But to go back with King of the Ants, some movies that I said that that are very mean. Whereas like they're good films, and then you're just like, ooh, that was hard. I put down Casino. The movie's pretty brutal, but the ending alone, Joe Pesci gets beaten almost to death. They beat his brother to death and then bury them together, bury Joe Pesci's character alive. And then there's an attempted blowing up of Robert De Niro, and everybody else just gets killed. It's like, that's mean as shit.
Yeah. Super. I don't think I'll ever forget that watching, and I think that's one of the really great parts about Casino and Goodfellas. They hang around to show how shitty their lives get, and it feels oppressive.
There is no happy ending.
The cooking scene at the end, in Goodfellas when they're sitting in their house cooking, and they hear the helicopter, and it becomes so oppressively depressing.
Yeah,
and I love that.
There's no upside to this.
And I also like mean endings as well. This movie really wallows in. Some people have called it nihilistic. I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know if you call it nihilistic. It's definitely, it shows what torturing someone would do to you, and it makes you want to take your revenge back. And it's like, well, what does Crowley have to do in order to get out of this? He has to become what these people are.
And then he becomes too much, and they're like, hey man, you went crazy.
Yeah, well, a little bit much. He beats the one guy. He has that sledgehammer, beats the one guy with it, then he sets fire to Adam Baldwin, and then, has the gas leaking in the house, sets a fire and blows it up.
With the shoe?
And it's like, well, that pretty much does it right there.
Yeah, those guys got... And then, but I guess the end, I hate getting set up with expectations, Chris Kelly, and I thought this movie was going to have a meaner ending because it kind of leaves with him being an avenging angel. I thought maybe he gets tortured, he finds happiness in his life, and then he just gets murdered. Like that's what I was expecting. So when he lived, I thought it was neat, but I guess I hate saying expectations, wreck me, but I guess it wasn't as mean of an ending as I was hoping for from your comment.
He didn't burn a man alive.
Yeah, but I guess, all right, so when I mean mean, so in my head, this is my idea of a mean ending. It's something happens to the main character where they're dead or they're crazy or they're going to jail or there's not a happy ending. Now, this movie does not have a happy ending. However, it leaves with him victorious, even though his mind frame is done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's ruined for the rest of his life, but he did win.
And so I guess that's what I was. A mean ending to me is when someone you've known or like bites it. The ending of Seven, right? What's in the box? What's in the box?
I actually wrote that down as one of my other mean movies.
I mean, Funny Games. That's a double mean.
Yeah, that movie is just like. Ugh.
That pulls a triple mean on you. A triple mean on you, Chris Kelly. That one gets you.
That rough.
Last Seduction with Linda Fiorentino lighting the thing at the end, and Peter Berg is done.
I don't think I've ever seen The Last Seduction.
Oh, I just wrecked it for you. And then Alien Covenant. I mean, that's Alien Covenant. I love the ending of that as well. That's just a real gut punch of a film.
Another one I wrote down was Cabin Fever.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, everybody dies in that one. Spoiler alert.
That's a nasty picture.
Then you wind up infecting the entire, almost probably the rest of the world. So
because the water truck goes out, right?
Yeah. The whole planet's doomed. Then another mean ending. Another mean movie I would say would be The Mist.
Oh goodness.
I mean, the guy he pops everybody,
Woo!
kills his son, and then he doesn't have enough bullets. And the plan is to him walk out of the car and then get taken by the insects or whatever you want to call them. And then it turns out, the military has cleared the way and is disposing of everything and saving the day. And he's just left there with a pile of bodies.
And you see a lot of the people from the grocery store fine.
And you see the lady that they sent off on her own.
Alive.
It's like, ugh. Yeah, that's a definite kick.
If you're in a 4D theater at the end of the film, employee just runs up and hits you in the stomach.
It's kind of like the beginning of Antichrist, but it's at the end of the movie The Mist.
Oh my gosh!
In the ending of The Mist, you get punched in the face. In the beginning of Antichrist, you get punched in the face.
What does the fox? What does the fox say to him? Chaos reigns.
Chaos reigns.
Remember?
In Antichrist?
Yeah, remember when the fox talks to him?
I have to watch that movie again. Last time I saw that was 2012. I think I told you this, that I saw that in the same weekend I saw 12 Years a Slave, and I was like, why did I do that?
That's a rough one.
But another mean movie I put down is the classic The Godfather.
Oh, man.
Yeah, as soon as Michael gets in, man, everybody's done.
Horse heads everywhere.
Oh, my God. And the movie just did guy goes to get a shave, slits his throat, two guys get shot. Wow. Just nonstop. Another mean ending, Hostel.
Oh, yeah.
And the original ending was supposed to be a lot worse.
And in the sequel, he gets killed, right?
Yes. In the original ending of Hostel, he was supposed to kidnap the German guy's daughter, but Eli Roth thought that was a little bit too much. So he just has him killing the guy and then escaping.
At the end, I think Hostel 2 is starting to be appreciated more. What are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed Hostel 2. I don't think it was very well received when it first came out.
Yeah, expectations kind of killed it. Or anything else you want to talk about in this movie?
Well, there's a few other things that I just wanted to comment on. The writer of this was Charlie Higgin. He's a British novelist and an actor, but he's mainly known for his books. He started writing the new James Bond novels as of 2004.
Nice.
So around the time that he had made King of the Ants was whenever he got hired on to do the James Bond novels.
Someone sees it and it's like, well...
What the hell is this?
He also acted in Broadchurch. That's a big show. I like Broadchurch.
I haven't seen it, but I saw that's what he's mostly known for. I haven't seen it, though.
Yeah, I like that show. He's good.
The producers of this were the founding members of the Asylum. Well, but they turn out movies. I mean, they turn out more films and TV shows than Tyler Perry. They're nonstop. But David Michael Latt, David Rimwali, and Sherry Strain, they have dozens of movies still in the works coming out.
I mean, Sharknado gave them enough money to pay for many, many, many more.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, who thought that was actually going to be a huge success? It's a movie about sharks in a tornado, and it's like, who thought that would work? And it's like, sometimes it works. And originally in Sharknado, the Ian Ziering character was supposed to be Steve Guttenberg.
Ooh,
so Steve Guttenberg turned it down, and then when they wanted to do Lava Lantula, Steve Guttenberg said he would do that.
And then that didn't make it nearly as big as Sharknado.
No. Well, I mean, who thought that Sharknado was going to work? But yeah, it didn't. It didn't really work out that well. In my opinion, Sharknado went downhill after I think it was like part 4 when they did time traveling, or was that part 4 or 5? I can't remember. That's when they got a little ridiculous, if that even makes sense. But the special effects artist on this was Chris Bailey, and he has 129 credits in special effects to his name, and he comes from a family of special effects artists. So that would explain why when we were talking about how the ending of this movie and how George went and they show his dead body and his head being thrown into the fire, it looks like actually George went makes sense because the guy who was involved in all that had a whole family background of special effects. And the makeup artist is from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is not that crazy far away from where I'm from. In Pennsylvania, but he has been featured on a lot of different television shows, especially he's a judge on Face Off, but he did the Hunger Games films and the recent Star Trek movies.
Nice. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of these people ended up staying busy. Even the main actor in this film stayed busy. So it's nice.
Yeah.
People kept making movies.
The makeup artist, Glenn Hetrick, he does a lot of superhero type of films. He did Legion, Heroes. They went on to do various other ones called like Extent and CSI, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Inhumans, and Star Trek Discovery.
Nice.
So a lot of the people involved in this movie eventually went on to do bigger and better things.
Love it. So what are our Chris Kelly recommendations here?
Oh, whoops. Wait, hold on a second. Just one more thing.
Oh.
The first AD on this was B. Scott Senechel, who was a boom op on Brewster's Millions, and he's a DGA trainee starting with The Great Outdoors. He was a DGA trainee on They Live, and then he became a second AD on Hoffa, Natural Born Killers, Operation Dumbo Drop.
Wow.
And isn't that nuts?
And so he first did this movie?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Isn't that nuts?
So
he had a whole bunch of background on this.
I wonder what he thought working on this movie after being on those giant ones. I mean, I guess you got to do a first AD somewhere along the line.
I think after a while, I mean, you got to imagine if he started as a DGA trainee on The Great Outdoors, he'd been working for almost 15 years at this point as an AD. He's probably like, nah, you know.
He hates life by now.
He's probably done with it at this point. Probably like, what? I don't really care. Whatever. You want me to first AD this? Great. We'll shoot it here. We'll do this, that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, do what you want.
All right. We'll like for the asylum. Great. Cut the check.
Cut the check.
This King of the Ants, as we said in the beginning of this podcast, if you are interested in watching this film, it's literally streaming on every platform that you can imagine. It's the more, I guess you could say the easiest thing to say is what is it not streaming on? You can go on any platform that you stream your movies on and watch it.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
On IMDb, it gets a 6.2 rating.
Which is about right, would you say?
I think that's fair. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I didn't think it was a great movie. I enjoyed myself watching it. Yeah, I gave it a 6. It was good.
I mean, yeah, final thoughts for me. I think it succeeds in the mission that it set out to do. It wanted to be a nasty little crime thriller, and it was a nasty little crime thriller, so you gotta give it props.
Yeah.
And there's so little to... Normally, you and I like commentaries. We like to read the interviews, behind the scenes, little clips, but there's nothing. So we don't know the budget. We don't know how many days it shot. We don't know any issues that popped up. So it's kind of hard to get a gauge on that, which is kind of a bummer, but I still think there's a lot to chew on. But no, if you're into nasty little movies, I totally recommend you watch this. Yeah.
I also wanted to add that the director, Stuart Gordon, he is currently working on a movie that is called The Cannibal Cafe. Oh, sorry. That's where the movie was originally founded. But The Rottenberg Cannibal, which is about Armin, I can't pronounce the last name, but Muis from Germany, who was a man who went on a website where he met another guy who agreed to be killed and eaten by him. Do you remember this in the early 2000s?
No.
This was like a big story. I remember this, but it was the website was in the dark web called the Cannibal Cafe, where people went in there to talk about their cannibal fantasies. And another man met another man who willingly allowed him to kill him and eat him.
Wow.
And that's what currently Stuart Gordon is working on. And a great quote that I found from Stuart Gordon that kind of goes with this movie and goes with a lot of his movies in general is that he said, "Horror and sex go hand in hand. The two are like life and death." And I think that that's very fitting for this and his movies in general.
Well, definitely for this one.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
But yeah, my little theme song, I guess.
You telling me to sing for you now? All right, it's time for Chris Kelly's recommendations.
There you go. Punch me in the face.
All right, Chris Kelly recommendations. Here we go.
Tougher than the ending of Goodfellas.
That's right.
So I only have one movie. This is a movie that I saw many years ago. Whenever you used to be able to, they had places where you could rent films, and I rented this at Videodrome whenever I was a kid. I'm not Videodrome, sorry, at Video Den, which was a lot like Blockbuster, but it was cheaper. And it's called Killer Nerd. I don't know if you saw this.
No, never heard of it.
Oh, it's exactly what you think it is. It's made by the Troma people, so it's very low budget. It's very funny. It's very ridiculous. It's basically about this guy called Kunkel, who was played by Toby Radloff, who had a little bit of fame in the early 2000s because he was in American Splendor.
Oh, okay.
So he plays this guy he's not even acting really, according to him in the commentary. That's actually how he is. He's a self-proclaimed nerd. He's not a very attractive man. He has a very distinct way of talking. He wants to become cool, quote unquote cool. So he gets these tapes. I forget, it was like Cool Dave's tapes where how to be like a swinging guy. So then he tries to pick up girls. It doesn't work out. And he meets up with these other guys that were picking on him earlier in the movie. He then tortures them. Uncle winds up torturing them and killing them.
Oh, geez.
And that's the kind of the basis of the movie. There's more to it, but that's kind of the basis of it. It's shot a lot like King of the Ants. It's very raw, very gritty. It's kind of goofy, but yeah, I say that this is worth it. It's the same film. It's a good recommendation to go along with this one.
So it's 91, $15,000 budget. Where'd you watch this at? Oh, you rented this at.
I rented it. I have the DVD now with the commentary and everything, but I remember renting this as a kid. The director was Mark Bosco and Wayne Harold, and they are most famous for their movie Girlfriends, which was a film about a lesbian couple that pick up men to kill and rob them.
This is very Troma, isn't it, this film?
No, yeah. I love Troma. All those movies, they're fantastic. You just got, just think of just take two ideas, doesn't matter if they go together, throw it up against the wall, see what happens. That's it. They're just fantastic stuff. You have, one actor playing like 9 different characters. They barely dress them differently, It's just.
Wow.
It's beautiful. I love movies like that.
So right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 30% audience score and 27 ratings.
Hell yeah.
This is an obscure one right here.
It's a fantastic. I'll have to let you borrow it. It's great. I love that movie.
Right, so if you're into Troma, right, and kind of super low budget.
I'd say if you like King of the Ants, or even if you didn't really like it, if you want something that'll complement King of the Ants, along the same lines, I would say Killer Nerd is one of them. The follow-up to Bride of Killer Nerd, not so much. That one was just straight oddball comedy, but yeah.
No, I love it. Well, thanks for joining me on this one, Chris Kelly, for King of the Ants.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on, man.
All right, so for Movies, Films, and Flicks, this is Mark Hoffmeyer and Chris Mad Dog Kelly. We'll see you next week.